Good afternoon, Facebook world. This is Victor from the 39.6 Facebook Live show. I'm broadcasting live from Quebec Airport, which is a gorgeous airport. And I'm hoping that the audio comes out properly over here, that we don't have too many distractions. Just realized there's a TV there. Okay, I'm tilting a little bit away from the TV. So yeah, this is a gorgeous airport. We're here for another hour or so, probably have to board about half an hour. So I'm hoping I can finish this before I need to board. And if the audio does not work, I'll just have to do this one again later. Okay, so today we're going to continue talking about real estate syndications. Now, syndications are any deal where they take in multiple different investors as a group to make a deal happen. Okay, now in episode number 8 yesterday, I talked about why I like syndications, because you can leverage other people's time, their hustle, their experience, their expertise, so that I can just invest my money and really be an investor and get the best return on my time and get the best return of my investment because I minimize my time. Okay, so today, actually, at this airport, they have a whole child play area, which is amazing. I borrowed this bus from the child area. Shinola was enjoying this. I borrowed this for today's presentation. So this presentation is going to be about a partnership. Often, real estate deals are structured as what we call limited partnerships. Okay, it could be an LLC, but often they're structured as limited partnerships. It doesn't really matter which entity, they usually have the same structure underneath it. Okay, and a limited partnership is a general type of entity or type of structure. It can be utilized for all sorts of business ventures. Okay, but often syndications are limited partnerships. Okay, and there are two different types of partners in a limited partnership. Okay, so in a limited partnership or an LP, we have two types. We have what's called the general partner and the limited partner. And these words are very foreign to a lot of people. So I'm going to use a very simple example with the school bus to make it a little bit easier to understand. Okay, so let's pretend, and everybody here has probably taken an Uber or something like that at some time in their lives. So let's pretend that you want to start a business where you have a transportation vehicle for Uber, okay? Or like right here or the airport, and you want to get an airport shuttle business, okay? So here's your airport shuttle, okay? This is going to be inside of a limited partnership, okay? And let's pretend you need to have let's make this easy, $9,000 to buy this used school bus. Okay, this is a very cheap school bus. You could probably get it for about $30 to $40, maybe at a toy shop new, maybe $10 on sale. But let's pretend this is a $9,000 actual bus that you're going to use to start your business, which is going to transport people from the airport to their hotels, okay, and back and forth. So you don't have $9,000, but you have this great idea. If I just had $9,000, I could start this business and it'll make me a lot of money. Okay, let's say it'll make me $1,000 a month. Okay, something like that. So you say, well, I just need the money to get started. Well, you don't have the money because you're just starting. Now, remember what I talked to you about yesterday with the 5 pillars of making money. The first pillar, or one of the pillars, is having money to start out with. That's the capital that you need, okay? But time and hustle. Well, never let money get between you and the opportunity because there's always other people with money, all right? So you want to get the school bus for $9,000, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to get 9 other people to all chip in $1,000, okay? So I borrowed all the little toys. It's not a complete set, okay? But here's the first investor. This investor gives you $1,000. Number 2 is missing, but I'm just going to stick this. Okay, so that's number 2 investor. They invest $1,000. So now you're up to $2,000. The third investor puts in another $1,000. So you're up to, sorry, that's an announcement. This is what I was afraid of. If I make this a podcast, we'll have to splice that. Okay, so the 3 investors come in at $3,000. fourth investor comes in, and there's the $4,000. Okay, so now you're almost halfway there. Okay, we're missing the number 5. I'm going to stick this in there. So that's $5,000. Now you have the 6th investor comes in at $6,000. The 7th investor comes in at $7,000. The 8th investor comes in at $8,000. And this 9th investor comes in at $9,000. Okay, so you have $9,000 inside of your limited partnership now. You have 9 people who have all invested $1,000. Okay, these people are called the limited partners. Okay, because they just want to invest money. They're not the one with the idea. They're not the one who's going to execute the business strategy. They're not the people who are going to do all of the work, put in all the hustle to make money off of your money. Okay, so there's a 10th person, and that's you. Okay, so you're the general partner. Okay, that's you, general partner. There's 9 limited partners. They're on the inside. They get to ride the bus for free because they own part of the business, and they just get to sit there and be driven around. But this guy, the general partner, he has to do all of the work. He's the one who's going to design all of the shuttle routes from the airport to which hotels. Okay, and then every time it picks up passengers, well, pick up a passenger and then boom. Oh, that one didn't fit. We're gonna put this here. Okay, and so you're collecting fares on the shuttle. Okay, and then every day the whole entity is collecting revenue. Okay, now you have to pay for your expenses. You have to pay for the gas, the insurance. Okay, all of these expenses that go into keeping this thing afloat. You need to pay for the maintenance of the company. Okay, so those are all expenses. But at the end of the month, there will be profits. Okay, now those profits will be distributed based on the shareholders of the company. Okay, so the general partner, okay, and the limited partners all own, for example, in this simple situation, an equal share. They each own 10% of the company. Okay, so 10% of the profits, that's the amount of money after all the expenses are paid. 10% of it is going to go to each of the investors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then also to the general partner. Okay, now the general partner, again, is running the whole business. They're putting in the work and they're trying to make this more and more profitable. Okay, the next month they do the same thing. He creates more and more rides, finds out which rides are more profitable, and generates more revenue in the second month. Okay, all the limited partners are going to get 10% of the profits, and then he will get 10% of the profits. Okay, that's a very simple structure where all shareholders get an equal share to the limited partnership. Okay, now that's not necessarily how all deals are done, but that's a very simple structure that we would call a straight equity split. The general partner gets a percentage, like 10%, and then all of the limited partners get a straight percentage of 90%. Okay, and every dollar of profit gets divided 10 cents to the general partner, 90 cents to all of the limited partners. The limited partners do not get to control anything. They do not get to have any say in how the business is run. They are not driving the bus. Okay, the bus driver is driving the bus. Okay, so that person is doing all of the work and has all of the control. The limited partner does none of the work and has none of the control. Okay, they also often don't necessarily have the same potential liability, but that's a whole different thing. Okay, so that's the basic structure of a lot of business ventures. Okay, now when I was talking about real estate syndications, it's often in this setup. So you have the people who find the opportunity to invest. Okay, these are the people who do this for a living. These are the people who are hustling. These are the people with experience and expertise. Okay, these are the people who know how to run this type of business professionally. They know how to make a rental property generate the most amount of revenue, the most amount of profits, because they've done this over and over again. They're not trying to figure it out. It's not their first rodeo. Okay, so they say, I'm going to find a great opportunity, okay, and then they find the other people to invest with them as limited partners, okay? Those limited partners are you as a passive investor. You don't have any of the work. You don't take any phone calls. Nobody calls you up at night talking to you about a leaking toilet, okay? You don't have to deal with any of the headaches with a tree falling down during a storm or a roof leaking, okay? You don't have to worry about any of that, because in this type of structure, you have the asset, which is the property. You have the full-time property management people who are there. Then you have the sponsors who are in charge of managing the entire asset. They manage the property managers, okay? And then there's you, okay? So between you and the asset are those, what we call the deal sponsors. Those are the general partners. And they're the ones who are doing all of the work. They take on all the responsibility of making all of the decisions, okay? And ultimately, that's what you want as an investor. Because if you have to be making more decisions on your own, and if you have to be taking phone calls, that's another job, okay? And you're not getting compensated for that work and that stress, okay? The sponsors are, okay? So that's the general setup of a lot of real estate deals, okay? And what I went through right there is what we call a straight equity split, where the general partner gets a flat percentage and the limited partners get a flat percentage, and it makes a lot of sense. In most deals, however, the general partner, the one riding the bus, is also going to be putting in some of their own money, okay? And that's the way all deals should be if you're investing in them, because you want them to have some skin in the game, okay? So instead of raising $9,000 from 9 separate people, you would raise $8,000 from 8 people, and then the general partner would also put in $1,000, as a limited partner. So that general partner would own 1 share of a limited partner, as a limited partner, and also still have that share as a general partner. Okay, so that way they have some money invested in the deal, but that money is going to earn them money just the same way that your money would earn you money. Okay, so they still get compensated as a general partner for doing the work, but because they put money into the deal, they still get compensated for the money invested. Okay, so that's that's a common way to structure a limited partnership in a real estate investment, okay? Because you want to have the people who are in charge of your money have some money in the game also, because there's no better way to motivate a lot of people than to have money of their own at risk, okay? If somebody's managing other people's money and they have no money in there, they could have a different opportunity come by where they could get more returns and spend their time and effort elsewhere, and basically let this one go away and not worry about it because they don't have any money to lose, okay? So often the general partner will also put money in, and that money will also earn the same way a limited partner would, okay? Often deals have more than one general partner, okay? They might have 2 or 3 general partners. And to me, I kind of like that because you have multiple people, more checks and balances, different people making the big decisions of how to run the business. You don't just have one person calling all the shots, okay? In tomorrow's episode, we will discuss a different type of structure where it's not a straight equity split, where you actually have a different amount of money to going to different shareholders, okay? But this last one on this example, let's pretend this company, okay, the first month they made some money, the second month they made more money, third month they made more money, and after a year, let's pretend they're generating, I don't know, $100,000 a month in revenue, okay? This business is now very valuable because it's making a lot of money. You could sell this business to another group of people who want to buy your business as a performing asset, okay? Well, let's pretend that a company like this will sell at a multiplier of 3 times revenue. Okay, so if your monthly revenue is $100,000 and the going rate is 3 times your monthly revenue, your company is worth $300,000. Okay, so the people who put their money in, the 9 people and the general partner, and they each have 10% ownership of the deal, if they sell the property for $300,000, they're making a huge gain, Okay, so during that year, they've been making money on the cash flow from all the revenue that's been generated, but at the end, they sell the property, which is now worth a lot more. And now they're each going to make, for example, you have to return them the $9,000 back from their investment, so they have $291,000 of profit. Okay, so that $291,000 will get divided amongst all the shareholders. So then they'll each end up with $29,000 of profit at the end of the year. That would be what we call capital gain. Okay, so they've basically more than tripled their money, okay, in just 1 year on that asset, because somebody else is willing to buy it at $300,000. Okay, and that is what you would consider to be a business that not only generates cash flow, but also is increasing in value because the cash flow every month over month has been going up. So that is the capital appreciation, or the growth of the company. Okay, so that's your general partner, limited partner structure. The people on this example, they're all equal shareholders, so they all share on this in the same amount of upside. And if it goes under, they all basically share in the same percentage of the downside if it's not performing. Okay, and tomorrow we'll talk about what we call preferred rates of return. Okay, and until then, think about how you can have your money work for you, so you don't have to work for your money. Allons-y de Quebec.